Was that it?
What was it?
All right, shit. All right. Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normal ass Carl to my front. Have my man at Just Lex. And together we form Voltron.
And Dyslex.
It feels great to have you back because I've been like using you see me with the iPad and shit trying to make it work. Ain't no sounds on there, man. So it's good to have your second set of hands with you. Crazy. Pause. What's up, man? What you been up to? You got a lot, bro. You know, I think we left off at Hip Hop Museum. There's been a lot of photos that's been coming up.
Yeah, I spread that out.
You sprinkled them out. So what's going on? What are you willing to share? What have you learned in your sabbatical?
I think it was less sabbatical. It was
Pull
more...
up to the mic a little bit, too. There you go. It's been a while.
You know, it's been a rough couple years. And there's some consequences I got to deal with for a few of my actions.
Okay.
And in doing so, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm good for a bunch of different people's sake. But, yeah, I'm just trying to catch something before something's too late. And, you know, I know that sounds kind of tap dancey.
It's got to be, though.
We'll see how it goes in the future. But, yeah, I'm good, man. I feel like in an interesting place right now because I feel very malleable. Like, it's weird because now I'm trying to figure out how I feel about certain things, but I'm not confident in the feelings. Yeah. I don't know if my mind is just conjuring up thoughts and trying to trick me into this is how you feel,
right?
Versus if it's real or not. And it's an interesting place to be in. And, you know, my therapist been like whooping my ass past couple of weeks.
Oh, so you found one? Like
I found one.
When I say one, I mean like you found the one.
Yeah, so far so good. We you know, we're trying to get our communication down about, you know, speaking in metaphor and shit that she be doing sometimes, but it's an interesting place where, like me, I get excited. I'm a firm belief if you're not like learning, then you're dying. Like you should always be trying to learn something
or purpose,
whether that be some skill, whether that be just general knowledge, whether that just be about yourself, whatever it is. You shouldn't try to run from that because you know evolution, right? And so I get excited. You know, she's like, she basically told me, you know, from a child, some sort of flight or fight response where I learned how to bury a feeling and I don't notice it. And then so she related it to a sidewalk. She was like, you're on a sidewalk right now. What is it made of? Concrete. What's under the concrete? I said, dirt. What's the dirt made up of? I said, a bunch of shit. Rocks, sediment. But she said, stop.
You said sediment. It's crazy.
She said, that's what it is, right? All your feelings is the dirt. It's made of a bunch of different things. And all you do is pour concrete over it. It smooths out, and you think you just smooth sailing walking around it. And underneath all that shit, she's like, it's my job to bring out the jackhammer. We got to figure out where that shit went.
You threw your pocket out just like this when she said that. That shit was good. That was fire. Go ahead.
I was like, that's fair. But yeah, now I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how do I, you know, she's like, oh, how did you feel about this when it was going on? I'm like, I don't even know. And it's a weird place to be in, but it's also exciting because then I'm thinking like, once I can crack that, I feel like it'll take me to a new height. And so instead of like the fear of the unknown, it's more excitement. Like, oh, I might find some shit out about myself that can take me to a different level I didn't think I was going to be at. But in this particular case right now, I do feel a tad fragile because I don't have the confidence in how I'm moving about certain feelings and certain thoughts. It's just more of trying to get through it. And in doing that, you know, plus day-to-day life been happening just like it's going to happen. So yeah, it's an interesting place, but all in all, I mean, I'm cool, man. I've just been doing that pretty much.
What it sounded like to me, I remember reading this article with Ray Allen after, I want to say it was either after he retired or after the Heat won their last championship, right? And he was basically saying that, like, after he won the championship, he got up the next morning. Everybody was still asleep, and, they were celebrating the whole night before, and he went to his dentist appointment. And they were like, Ray, they know him by first name, I'm sure, right? Ray, what are you doing here? You just won the championship. He's like, yeah, but this is not my first one. Life goes on, and he was like, what I've learned is like from coming from being, a high school star, because I want to say Ray went to UConn, right? He was, he did his bid at UConn. He was just like excellent, high draft pick, right? He was like, after looking back on all those things in my life, he was like, it's really about the journey. Like so many things you do is like connected with getting to the destination. I've been working with my kids on what you're talking about right now specifically. I can't think of when the light bulb hit me, but the process of things. Enjoying the process and being present in the moment and dealing with things as they come, knowing that they're serving a greater good, like respecting that process. And that's a human being thing where we're at in society right now, where so many people want results instantaneously. I like golf because, like, if I show somebody something and they do it 3 times and they're not successful, the first thing they're going to say is, oh, that doesn't work. No, you haven't practiced it enough to know if it works or not. Right. And so, like, just like what you're talking about right now, where it's like, hey, I don't know a little bit of where I'm at. I'm fragile right now. It's okay to be fragile. Don't be afraid of being fragile. Right. Enjoy the process.
No, yeah. That's why a lot of people don't reach their goals. Right. Because they don't understand that, like, the process. Some people be fake busy. Right. They be busy all day, but they don't be productive. And I feel like, same thing whether you're practicing a skill or something like that. It's not really about how many times you're practicing your golf swing or whatever you're talking about. But is your mind present during that time, or are you just swinging just to swing?
That's a good point.
So you got to, like, when G just started football, and
shout out to you, man. I like that you was out there doing drills with him off the wall and shit. That was pretty dope. I almost cried. Like, for real. Like, not even joking.
Oh, for the hand-eye coordination?
Yeah, that was dope, bro. To see
that shit was like 4 months ago.
It don't matter. Fuck it. You did it, bro. I didn't know. So it's
I
thought it was dope, though.
That's it. Well, because I've noticed his abilities. Like, I got to stay on it because I see it happening. When you're the one instructing and you see it working, you're like, okay, I know I'm not out here wasting my time.
Right. But
again, him starting the football is like, all right, you've been begging us for a while, and we had a lot of shit going on. We here now, and we're not doing what we did in soccer, where we just paid his money just so you can come scrimmage. Like, you're here to learn the game,
right?
You're here to learn this and that. I don't need these. In soccer, man, he had these like, excuse my poor delivery. He had these fat ass kids smoking him and gassers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
Because you distracted, you're not running all the way through. Like, that's unacceptable for me.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you 7 years old.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so for football, I was like, hey, his team's in trouble, right? Because he don't really know the game like that. And they talking to him like he's a superstar. I said, oh, shit. I done been on a couple teams like this.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
You on the Pittsburgh Pirates, Detroit Pistons, right? He's on one of these.
So he's like, Dad.
But that's good for him too, though.
But no, but it's like, yeah, because in what I didn't have in hindsight is someone to tell me this, but it's like, okay, now you can learn how to lose with grace. You can still, because they've been getting smacked.
Yeah.
Right? But, he's having fun. They depend
on him, though. That's why.
He's having fun, and it's like, this first year, you're going to lose, but we're taking this to learn how to play the game.
Yeah.
And then once we get to that point, because he'll call me, he'll be like, Dad, they calling me a deep threat. I said, boy, when I look at you, I said, that's
but that put a little fire in you, though.
No,
you got to make him a deep threat.
No, I look at him like a cornerback. I was like, boy, you can't catch. If you the deep threat, y'all in trouble.
No. You just gotta hone in on this skill.
No, I know what they mean. I was like, gee, here's the problem, right? So, I showed
hand on the head is crazy.
I showed some because I
was hitting your core though.
Because I've been a deep threat in my life, as hard as that might be to believe. Look at me now.
You've been the shooter too.
So I'm like, yo, you know, my favorite player of all time is Randy Moss. And that's kind of how I played.
Yeah.
I ran straight. I wasn't a route runner.
Boy ran straight. 9 routes all the time.
All day.
All the fades.
And I'm either going to catch it over, or by the time, if someone's really on me, you going to get tired, because I don't get tired.
Yeah.
If I just run straight all
just
game.
Pray you have somebody with an arm.
And that's my whole point, right? Randy Moss on the Raiders. I said, hey, gee, it's great when you're the deep threat and you can pass everybody. But if this dude can't throw it to you, it don't really matter.
Current Devontae Adams situation as we speak.
And I'm also like, you know, when it comes to my kids, I don't do fake praise. So if I say something, they know it's real.
Yeah.
Down to the point he called me the other day. He found out what team he was playing last week. He said, Dad, I'm playing the Steelers on Friday. He said, what you think about that? I said, man, I hope you score 100 touchdowns, but I hope you lose by 1. He's like, why? Loyal to the helmet, baby.
Yeah, man. Also, they really call it the Steelers.
Yeah, he plays for the Vikings.
It really hurt you so much. Not too bad, because if it was the Bengals, I know you'd be sick.
No, the Ravens.
The Ravens, that's the one. Q go to every game.
But yeah, he just like, hey, G, this is how I get, like, you know, I taught him how to play. I'm trying to teach him how to play chess. But we started with checkers because it's easier.
Right, just to know where the space is.
First game, he got smoked. And he's just like, I was like, gee, this is your first game. Right. And look, I'm teaching you how to play. You have to learn from every loss. Enjoy. If you don't really like this part, then you don't really like the game. That goes for football. That goes for this. Whatever game we play. I taught you to skateboard. When you were riding your bike, you enjoyed the process. That's why you got so fast.
Hit my hand claps. I want to formalize this because you're on to something. And this is why I tell people I go out in life and I write shit down. Random shit to fill in time. What you're talking about, and this is a subject matter that I want to stick on, is when you're parenting your kids, you're also reintroducing yourself to concepts that you may have been an autopilot about.
Yeah.
Like what you're talking about right now, your coach said this, and I fuck with him, right? Mike Tomlin said this. He said, yo, if I'm coaching and you don't get what I'm saying, that doesn't mean that, like, I'm a bad coach or you're a bad player. It just means that for me to be a great coach, I need to find, like, a way to explain it to you for you to get it. Like, everyone's coachable at that point, right? You have to be consistent and find a way to tap in. So the shit you're talking about right now, these life lessons, it's crazy because, like, our kids are similar in age, where, like, the lessons that we get mad because they don't understand us the first time, right? On some shit that we got, or they don't get it enough to stop doing what they're doing or recognize that they're going into muddy waters. The insight that you're having right now, though, is also saying a lot about yourself, because I can see you pausing because you're thinking of the moments of when it happens, and you got to take a deep breath and be like, all right, what is it about me or what I'm saying or what I'm teaching right now? How do I have to tell them in a manner that they get it, but also at the same time, I recognize it too?
Well, it's also difficult because both of the kids have to be talked to in different ways. Exactly. So I got to switch it up how I'm delivering the message. And then I'm also like, shit. I'm not like, it's not like I'm following what my dad did with me. Like, I'm doing this shit
from scratch,
breaking the cycle. You know what I mean? So it's more of a, all right,
it's not going to be perfect, because what my mom and dad with me is not the same as how I do my kids.
And
right
that's
now.
why I tell her, it's just more about, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm going to give him grace. Hey, if you drop the ball, you do this and that, like, I don't care. What I care about is the effort. Yeah. If I see the effort, I'm not going to worry about you failing, because eventually, what kids, not even kids, what people don't seem to understand is you don't get to be successful without the failure part. Right. Some people think you can skip over that shit. And that's why people get caught in this analysis paralysis. People get caught in, I'll try as soon as I feel ready. If I can do this, then I'll give it a shot. But it's like, no. But how do you get ready? You've ever seen in a successful place, not even sports related, anything, you had to go through that failure first. Right. And then the problem is people that do take the leap and fail, they stay in it. They swim in the fail. And they get caught up in that part instead of taking what they need from it and keeping it pushing. Right. They stay in it.
Or using it as motivation.
And they let it consume. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They just let it consume, and then it's like, oh, it's over. Instead of being like, all right, Now I know what not to do on my next attempt or whatever the case may be. And then they go again, they stay in it. And then so, for me, you gotta find out, am I really built like that? Get up out the failure, keep it pushing. It's not a real failure if you got something from it, and you don't truly fail until you give up on the whole thing anyway.
True.
And a lot of people don't understand that.
Or you know what? And here's the thing: I don't mind you failing, but you can't keep doing the same thing and trying to expect different results, right? Like I tell people all the time, right? Like especially coaching. And a lot of people ask me, and they gonna start asking you, especially like if they start seeing you do drills and stuff like that before or in between days, or if you say, "Oh, we coming out here," they're gonna be like, "Hey, can you bring little Johnny out here?" Like if you go or pick up my son or daughter or whatever y'all working on, and it's like, look, that's part of the failure. I can't tell you how many parents, like in the realm of what I am in coaching, want to ask. My dad is out here coaching with us too. They want to ask us for extra help. We utilize the same resources that are in front of people now because there's a lot more access to information. My dad can go up and find 100 drills online right now to open up the concept. My dad understands the game. I understand the game. And we have to find different ways to like get kids engaged. But if their parents is not engaged, or if their parents have bad habits, little girl across the street, I don't think I told you this in the time that we've been talking in between, you being on your break. We went to SeaWorld. No. My daughter had a birthday party. And at her birthday party, one of the moms, my wife's like, yo, we live right across the street from y'all. Like anytime you want them to go outside and play, she says, I never told our daughter, we knew you guys lived across the street. We never told her because we just don't want her outside every day. I said, you know what? I said, you know what? As much as I want to fight this right now, you got it, big dog.
And it's layered, right? Because one, here's what they're going to say. Outside's a dangerous place. But part of the sacrifice of being the parent is like, hey, no one understands that shit more than me. I would rather be doing a million different things. But I spend most of my day like, hey, you know what? If I truly believe outside ain't the same, or just us as parents, like ain't no way they can just disappear for 12 hours at this age like I used to do. But also understanding y'all ain't about to be in the house all day.
You gotta sacrifice your freedom.
I gotta sacrifice my time and be like, all right, we outside.
Yeah.
As simple as whether I'm participating or not. If I just gotta be around, figure it out. But yeah, so that just that sucks.
I mean, it is what it is, man. I just feel like a lot of people either want to, like when I coach, I tell my dad every year, I said, look, the first 2 days, that's all they need to see from me. No one's going to ask me no questions about playing time. They're not about to ask me about this or that. I said, for the next 3, I said, not until these kids get into college will anybody ever ask me about anything. I've already coached high school baseball. I've already won, at that level. I've already coached younger kids before, and we've won championships with a bunch of bullshit ass kids that gave me a full year. I said, because everybody's going to respect me because I'm going to parent and coach from an era that I knew that like got results, right? Like the shit we on right now in the world is kind of weird. Like I feel like we're not forcing kids to try shit. People talk about, oh, they don't want to play. I don't give a fuck. They don't want to play. I don't want to go to work on Monday. I'm from an era where you just go out and do shit because you had to. My dad is from an era because you did shit because you went out and had to. This is the only generation that is out here right now talking about I don't want to work too hard, but then work bullshit ass jobs and then expect people to do things for them. I'm just being real, right? This is the first generation out of all the ones that we had that don't want to do shit because everything is handed to them. And I'm not on that, to be real with you. Like I'm not. Like, yo, my kids gonna do whatever I tell them to do. They want to play soccer? Cool, go play soccer. My daughter says she want to play. I seen that little heavy ass feet running from home to first and was like, she ain't gonna make it. She not gonna want to do that. She's me. I didn't want to do soccer, right? But she gonna do something. We not gonna just do dancing. You bullshit twirling around or whatever, and these teachers ain't doing nothing because they don't give a fuck. They 19, 20 years old. I'm watching y'all. So we not doing that. Then the other dance squad want $400 a month. Fuck that. I don't know if you like it that much. Your pop locking skills, I don't know if you can hang with them. I had you with the folks out there on the other side of the freeway. But if I bring you back over here, I don't know, because they good. And you not out here like, you know, so it's like, yes, make your kids do shit. Yes, learn from them. Find a way to tap into them. Right? I feel like a lot of y'all motherfuckers is out here lazy. I don't know how else to say it. A lot of you motherfuckers is weird. We went to SeaWorld. I'm turning up a little bit. We went to SeaWorld and all these weirdo ass parents not saying a word. And I'm sitting up here asking questions. They left me with a little girl. I said, yo, if I wasn't fucking here, what was y'all about to do with my daughter? You was about to just leave her with some dude that she don't even know? Right? Luckily, this little girl, like I said, live across the street. So they gave me the same little girl. But I was like, what am I going to do? She got to go to the bathroom. I don't fucking know her like that. You're not getting me jammed up. Oh yeah, just come back. It took me 20 minutes, Lex, to realize that we was in the part of the park that they closed down. That it was designed that we couldn't get lost. But y'all couldn't tell me that? Like y'all just took off? It's a bunch of fucking weirdos out here. That's why I wasn't fucking with that dude that was supposed to be in here. Fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me fired up. Jonah, my guy and shit, but he been getting me fired up lately, right? But I'm sitting up here like, yo, I don't have time for the weird shit. You know what I mean? Go take all that shit over there. You know, self-diagnosing yourself and shit like that. Go take that shit over there. You know, go get the help if you need it. I empathize with that, right? But don't just sit here and be weird in the space and then get mad at how I move on things. That's just me speaking in general.
I think that's going to get worse as time goes on, because not only are you going to get older, so you're going to have that back in my day type of mentality.
Yeah, I feel it.
But then on top of the actual factuals of like, oh, the way the world is going, the way it's turning, the way it's evolving, and like more technology, more social media, less social interaction.
Like in person.
It's going to... The people we got to deal with is going to get worse. We're just like, man, these kids, it's going to be less relatable to the kids and the further generations. But I put such a good emphasis on like building rapport and knowing how to talk to people, all different types of people. I kind of look at it like this. Like, I feel you, there's a lot of weird shit. But I'm like, if I can transfer those certain skills to my kids, there's less people able to do it. It could be that much easier for them to be successful because they know how to deal with people.
Right.
At the end of the day, you know, there's algorithms, there's things like that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to them big boy decisions, a lot of it is handled by a person.
True.
And I feel like if you know how to deal with people, you know, some people don't know how to talk. Like, you could be the most highly skilled person in the world. You can't get through an interview because you dub. Then what you gonna do?
That communication isn't there.
But
you know what got me today? I mean, it got me the last month. This one I get a little leg up on you. All right, you got me on a few shit. I ain't gonna lie. We still gonna have to learn how to ride a bike, right? But this one is the one. So, bro, been playing Roblox. Chris has, and they got a football game on there. So one day I'm outside hitting golf balls. I hear safety. Interception. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Where is this? He don't want to play, right? He don't want to play in real life, right? He just want to play. But he like, and he's really, you know, his dad is in the 49ers and shit, so he a 49er heavy. You like, oh, the 49ers this, and they got 5 Super Bowl. He start getting facts. He getting Super Bowl books on the 49ers and shit. But then finally, right, he was like, hey, it was this weekend. You ever play Madden? I said, nah. I ain't never played. He said, me neither. I said, I'm messing with you. I played. I said, I'll show you. I made bro do the whole tutorial. They talking about where the tackles are, the guards, linebackers, the whole nine, how to wrap the ball up. He beat me his first game. Now, mind you, I had him on rookie, right? And I was playing against the all-Madden team, so his CPU was all smart. Mine was dumb. He busted 60-yard runs, juking and stuff. So it was like, yo, like, something that he thought was so difficult, you know, 3 or 4 months ago that he wasn't even interested in, by us just being consistent and like, you know, getting him around sports and talking with other kids. Because sports right now, I'm not big on sports really, but I'm big on socializing. Sports is the easiest way to take them to practice and talk to other kids and shit. So it was just like, it was just cool to see him grow and just be regular, right? Like even when he's on the game, he's talking to real kids on the game, but then he's also going to practice with other kids that play, and he get to know what they like. They're not even thinking about PlayStation out there. They just like-minded kids that just love being out there. They got baseball and the video games in common, maybe some cartoons and shit that they watch. Like this whole inside culture where, like, you know, I think it's like 12% of the kids right now in neighborhoods participating in baseball. It's even lower in the hood probably, right? Like that shit is a real thing. Like a lot of you parents is weirdos, right? Like that's all I'm saying. Force your kids to go out there and experience life, know what it's like, touch grass, touch dirt, all them things, man. Stop robbing them of being productive human beings when they get older to where they can't do shit. You know, and they rely heavily on electronics and all this other shit. Like, no, I don't roll with that. I took my daughter out today before. I was like, I hope Lex don't hit me in the morning. Because if he ready in the morning, it ain't going to work. We going to the golf course. We're going to be out there walking, running from bumblebees, all kind of shit, right? Like, just be outside. And bees are in danger, so let's not kill him. Let's let him live, right? Like, know what's going on. Anyway, here we go. We'll do one more of these. In the last, 30 years on this earth, right? And I told you I had some deep ones for you. So here's a deep one. Pause. What is the best 5-year period in your life? Age range. I'll start the bar off, make it easy, right? While you sitting there squinting. I would say for me, 18 to 24. 18 to 23, bad math. 18 to 20. And the reason why I would say that is because as a kid that didn't grow up with siblings, right? It was just me and my dad acts like a child. So there's our sibling relationship right there, which is a dope thing. I'm not saying that to be condescending. As a kid with no siblings, it was cool to like connect with people, live with people, right? Other than just my mom and dad, and be able to like decipher things and go through things on my own. That period doesn't mean that like I didn't have struggles. I had people steal from me. You know, I've had, you know, bad relationships, car breakdown and shit like that. But I was free. Like mentally free. I didn't have nothing to really worry about. I didn't have to worry about taking care of anybody or anything like that. I didn't have to worry about having a girlfriend or whatever, like throughout that whole period where I had to like sacrifice things for. Like I had a chance really to be by myself. Another question I had on here that I thought was solid in congruence with this is the best advice I ever got. And the best advice I ever got came in that 5-year period, which presented me with another 5 years of being by myself. This dude that played on the Fresno State basketball team, he rings the doorbell. I don't know if I told the story on the mic or not, but, you know, he played on the state team. Then he played in Mexico for a little bit. You know, I'm in my last year of school. Me and Duran is living together. We used to notice him. Like, we used to see him all the time because they lived underneath us, like in one of our little bulldog spots or whatever. And I was like, what's up, man? Because we had moved away from the college area. But he was going door to door, selling shit, like for PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. And he was giving away like some shit or whatever. And he hooked us up, but he was like, hey, man. I was like, hey, what you been up to? He's like, I got like 3 kids now. He's like, I still be playing overseas and shit. He was like, but I'm just doing this on the side because we out of season. And that's when I realized like everything ain't what it cracked up to be sometimes. But he was like, yo, just live by yourself for like a year or two. No kids. He was like, if you can afford to or whatever, or, you know, whatever, just live by yourself. He's like, I get up every morning. I feel him now. He's like, I get up every morning. Somebody, you know, peeking under the bathroom. I can't even use the bathroom. Hands underneath the door. Somebody knocking, asking for something or whatever. My girl always tripping about some shit with the kids or whatever. He's like, that's why I like to go play. He's like, I just go out and do my own thing. And I felt it when he said that shit. I was like, I just got to be by myself. And so that advice that I took, I put that into that 5-year period of my life because I really enjoyed it, of like getting on a plane and just going to do shit or whatever for 5 years until I got tired of it. So, yeah, that's the best 5-year period for me.
That's a tough question. I
know.
feel like might be some single digits in there, but memories. Without a whole bunch more thought into it, I will probably go from age 14 to 19.
Paint the picture.
Which sounds crazy because I don't want to sound like the dude that peaked in high school. But man, I had a time.
But we're all done. We're all peaked. We hit the peak already. We're done.
Because I could pick a lot of different 5-year periods and be like, yo, this was kind of ill. But every 5-year period also had a bunch of bullshit and other trauma with it.
Yeah, that's cool. But if you're able to get
But
away
14
from it.
to 19,
When did you start driving?
legally,
Yeah.
16.
Okay, so there's a good heavy 3 years of you being able to maneuver then during that time period.
Well, I was driving since I was 12.
No, but I'm saying that like legally to go do shit and not have to look over your shoulder and really enjoy your time. That would be 16 to 19. But keep going with your 14 to 19. What is it about that time period?
I mean, high school was pretty good to me in a lot of different ways. I think entering that new chapter of young adulthood, already having like almost 2 decades under my belt with certain relationships and seeing people grow. And it's kind of like the last hurrah with a very, very large group of people. Before people start kind of tethering off and going their separate ways or doing, just having to be a little lower than before, just circumstances. Also, yeah, there's no kids involved with that. I'm not tied down to nobody in particular. So I'm kind of doing me. I don't know if I've ever had that free mentality that you speaking of. Obviously I was freer, but I don't know if my mind ever allowed me to feel that free for whatever reason. But I picked 14 through 19 because I know age 20 was a rough year for me. So I was like, let me just pull that one out the equation. But, and then starting college, I started college at 17. First couple years of that was an eye-opener, and it taught me how to critically think a lot different.
You didn't have a group with you when you got into college, huh? Was there a group that you hung out with? Like strict? That's where I feel like our experience is different.
Yeah, my college experience wasn't the college experience because I worked like 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
And
you was like a 35-year-old in college. Like for
it
real.
was that, and I, same with any school I've ever been to. Most of the people I grew up with, we all went to different schools for the most part.
Yeah.
So I never had the pressure of like, I have to make friends because I had friends at home. Now it just so went to go, like, I don't have an issue making friends. So I made friends at school, but I never had that issue. I never had that pressure as a child. Like, oh no, people, they go to school for the first time thinking, do other kids like me? Because they don't know before.
Right.
But I've been outside the whole time. I know people like me. And school just kind of added to that. And then when I got to college, it's not like I was in a foreign place. I was up the street.
Yeah, but I mean, that's different though, right? Because like if I stayed here, majority of the people that I did know, right, or that I was cool with no longer lived here anymore, right? And a lot of them went to college or like did something different. Had I stayed here and not had those same experiences, I would have met people that wouldn't have went to state or been hanging out with people that would have never went to state. When I was in Fresno, I only hung out with people that really went to state. The only time I didn't is when I went to work. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I got a leg up because I knew somebody that already went to Fresno, my cousin, who already had a tribe that he hung with. So like the first year and a half, 2 years, I rode with them and they tribe. And we all lived right within the vicinity of each other. School, I could just throw a rock there. Like I said, the only time I left campus area was when I went to work. Ain't shit else really to do in Fresno either, too, though, right? But like that was really like that was it. So it's like, and then once, I kind of started meeting people, I was cutting hair and shit. People started hanging out at our house and shit like that. Like I had my own group that I was hanging with. And I would say that what you're talking about, like that didn't hit me until I came back here in terms of feeling like, all right, well, now the world is on my shoulders, right? That was during that 5-year period where I'm figuring out things, but the world is on my shoulders. I can make it to what I wanted to be. Shout out to Benny the Butcher. Everybody can't go, right? And so that's when I started realizing like there's certain people that I can't hang around with or associate with. And that kind of changed. And that's why I would say that 24 to 30 year period, or 23 to 30, like that little 7-year gap was a lot of eye-opening things for me to be at where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. If I just went down the 5-year intervals, like maybe I might do that. Maybe I might take a little $15 copay and take that journey.
Yeah,
with my therapist.
I feel like that's a solid question because, like, you know, a lot of people say that if you have goals and shit, set them within 5-year increments. So, like, I'm starting to. My goals now in these next 5 years have nothing to do with me for the first time in my life, right? Like they're more about even my kids' first 5 years. That wasn't nothing. It has something to do with me being an active parent and being there and having those memories. But the shit that I'm good at kicks in right now. Like the shit about teaching and being coachable and learning things about life. And like they've been asking me a bunch of like why and what is this and how is this. And now it's the most critical time in their development for me to answer these questions and give them logic to a lot of their things. I can't think of what Chris asked me the other day where it kind of fucked me up, but they can read now too, right? Like even something as simple as she asked me, does that say Japanese? But it said JC Penney, right? She was guessing, right? But I was like, yo, I got to tell you what an acronym is, right? Like there's certain things about life that they need to learn about. I've also, like, I thought about it today. I was like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna let them go to parties when they teens because I knew what happened. Like you telling me you going to a party or whatever at somebody's house, it's not gonna fly with me. You can do that when you turn 18. As much as I want to do it, bro, there's just way too much shit. It's just my man right here across the street, his son goes to a school near you. I won't say the name of it. But he like, yo, the drug usage is high.
Right, but the pros and cons to that whole, you can do all that at 18, they gonna make up for lost time.
They can.
I'm just saying.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, and I turned out all right because certain things that I got while I was in the house, like learning like how to maneuver, they need a little extra time. like I'm okay with that. Yo, I realize the grip that I have, like I'm getting better about loosening it up. But we went to when we went to Vegas, the cashier lady at Target, I love her for this. She gave him back the wrong amount of change that he was supposed to get. He took it and then like he started walking off. But we were talking about counting money and life skills with her. She said, "Did you take a look at the money?" He's like, "Nah." She said, "Well, you gave me $50 and your thing was only $12 and you only got $20 in your hand." He was like, "Oh, I'm missing money." Right? And he was kind of like, why would she do that? And I was like, it's not about her doing that. It's that somebody who really wanted to take your shit wouldn't tell you if you don't know how to count. And the way he blank stared off into the space where he was like, yo, why are people like this type shit? You need to experience that. So I love that she did that when we were having that conversation because it's like some of these skills and stuff, like you know if your kids are prepared or not. This group I got right now, they need a little extra love and care to understand certain shit. You know, my daughter a little bit more common sense, but she's more like I do whatever the fuck I want to do, like her dad, and I'll deal with the consequences later.
You also gotta be careful who they around too, because G said some wild shit a couple days ago where I was like, "Yo, where did you hear this?"
You gonna repeat it?
I'm thinking about it.
I was like, you gonna repeat it?
He said, what did he say? What was the context? I don't remember the context anymore, but he said basically something about all Mexicans steal. And I was like, yo, what?
That's kind of crazy. So, especially, he still go to the same school?
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking like on my watch. No, you didn't. Where did you hear this
Yeah,
from?
that's kind of crazy.
And he never really gave up the full answer. I was like, who are you protecting?
Yeah.
He said an adult. He tried to say his mom. I was like, she ain't say that.
Yeah.
He tried to say his teacher. Your teacher's Mexican. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they ain't going with that.
Like, you protecting somebody.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Which
kid.
on one hand, I'm like, all right, I'm okay with the protection.
Yeah.
But you got to realize
The shit
that's kind of wild. You got to
Yeah,
relax.
not even kind of. That's crazy.
You got to relax.
Yeah. At least he said it to you, though.
Yeah.
Like in this same kitchen, I was like, "Mom, you know how the crip walks? Yeah, hey, get that shit up out of here, right?" And so, like, you just, I heard it from somebody, and people was talking about gang shit when I was a kid. was like, oh, that shit dope. Shout out to all the Crips and Bloods out there. I ain't got
shit
no hate. I ain't got no hate against y'all, right? It's just my mom said not in her house, so I couldn't bang. I'm sorry. But, you know, like that's just, it's just one of those things, bro. Like, you just gotta deal with the punches.
But
man.
yeah, see that shit gonna happen. He obviously he have no malintention in his heart, but so I'm glad. I need you to repeat that shit to me so I can try to correct it.
Yeah.
But all right, you heard that. You don't know what you're saying, but you're saying it. People might take that the wrong way, especially the wrong people. So I need you to understand what you mean.
Especially where you live at.
Throwing at real life examples, this and that. Like, do you really think
You don't live in Wisconsin. There's 12 million undocumented people here, man. We ain't even talked about the ones that is documented. Hit by hand claps, he going to have to turn around and catch a fade for the rest of his life saying that. Read him a week. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. He is sweet and loving. He would do anything for me. I feel very blessed. There's one thing that is affecting our relationship. He asks me if I'm okay dozens of times a day. He would ask me if I'm okay when I'm sitting next to him. After I reassure him that nothing is wrong, 5 minutes later, he will ask me if I'm okay again. If I'm in the restroom, he will ask me if I'm okay 3 minutes after me being in there. Also, every time I sniffle, sneeze, or clear my throat, allergies, he immediately asks me if I'm sick. Sound like me. I tell him that I'm not sick, but he will insist that I am. Let me skip down. Sometimes he will ask me if I'm okay or ask me what's wrong so many times that I become very overwhelmed and develop chest pains. He's a grown man, and I'm not trying to insult him at all, but the feeling I get is the same feeling I get when my 4 children become overwhelming and I need a mommy break. Sometimes I need a break from him. We have gotten into numerous fights because he claims that I don't like him caring about me. Am I in the wrong?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay. I'm agree with you there. Keep going. I want to know your reasons why.
I don't know if I was ever that dramatic, but I think I've fallen into the yo, you good thing. And
I want you to point at me when you want to tag team me in.
And, you know, on the surface level, I might have felt like this gentleman at first, like, you really upset that I'm just making sure you good? Like, that sounds kind of crazy. But then, you know, as she explained a little more thoroughly, it's like, some people just get overstimulated. And it has nothing to do with the intentions. It's just more of, I don't need to, like, don't tell me I'm not okay. Like, they don't want, I can understand if someone's like, hey, there's too many feelings right now. I don't need to express it every single fucking second. Let me take a moment. Let me process my own shit. I'm cool. You don't gotta, you know, if you've already asked me, am I good? And then, you know, maybe on his, it's like, okay, well, maybe she's not good now, but she won't tell me that. That's why I'm constantly checking in.
I feel that.
And I get that part too. But at the end of the day, you can't really control, like, she gonna feel the way she feels. If she don't tell you, then don't worry about constantly checking in. Just make sure that you're in the best possible position possible to make it her comfortable to come to you if she's not okay. And then maybe just ask once a day or, you know, scenario appropriate. You good? And then that's it. Because the other side, the shit that she's feeling is a real thing. And then whether you understand it or not, like, it happens. And so just don't take it personal. It's an overstimulation, and especially relating it to, like, when you're parents and you already got the kids always in your face all the time, you don't constantly need that reminder. So on one end, I might have been on his side, but, like, nah, I feel her.
I'm going to put it to you like this. Some women, right? that
I wasn't going to speak gender specific.
I am. I'm going to go. We're on a ledge since you've been gone, right? Since you've been gone.
Oh, don't blame me.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that I'm on a ledge. I feel like some of the women that I've run into, man, you can ask them if they good and they not good, but they tell you, yeah, I'm okay, right?
Sounds like men too.
Yeah, well, yes, but I have the patience to deal with men because of me being one. Like, I have that patience of saying, all right, if he told me he good, a man's good is like, yo, there's some shit going on. Let me figure out how I'm going to tell you and how I'm going to move before I I tell you, I need to handle it first. Right? My scenarios with women when that happens is you not trying to fix this situation at all, but you want me to suffer with you while you're upset. And that ain't gonna that don't fly with me, right? Like, nah, you gonna tell me, like my wife. I'll give you a great example, right? I ask her all the time if she good. I ask her, would she be coughing and shit? You getting sick? Because she won't say shit. And it's more so because I be present in the moment. I saw a meme where a dude was walking with his girl, and he was like, all right, there's 2 dudes over there. There's a guy right here, exits right here, whatever. And then his wife was like, making my way downtown. Like, we on 2 different pages right now. I'm more hyper vigilant about where I'm at because of my experiences. Just like when, oh, he don't bite. No, the motherfucker bites, right? Like, yes, he does. So when I look at it in that perspective, it's like, yo, look, I'm trying to provide you an avenue. The one time that I'm talking about this with my wife that I could think of was about 4 years ago. And I would tell her, I was like, yo, man, like, for the most part, like, I choose the things we do. Like, let me know if you want to do something, right? I know that you just enjoy doing shit with me, but there's some shit that you want to do. I'll suck it up and say, fuck it, let's go do it. No, it's cool. Like, all right, cool. But we got in front of her friends. And it had been a while since I had seen them all. It was during COVID, too, I remember. We were in their backyard. It was cold. You know, now, if G would have said, hey, look, all Latino people need is like a fire, a backyard, and some mariachi music to have a good time, that's a generalization that's got a little bit of truth to it. They had the cervezas out there, you know, and she started popping a few, and I start seeing a version of her I ain't never seen. I was like, oh, she's really good now. I don't even have to ask her. The demeanor lets me know you're having a great time. So I told her a few days later, I was like, look, you ain't got to front with me. We've been together. I done seen you naked. You know what I mean? Like I know all about you. You could just be yourself. And I'll stop asking you these things because sometimes people have like, my wife has really good resting bitch face, right? She's not a bitch or nothing like that. I'm just saying the word. She has really good resting bitch face. So I can't tell if she's having a great time or if she's fucking miserable inside, right? You got some of the same tendencies because when I drew comparisons, I was like, y'all two are more alike, whereas me and the other one is more alike. And so I understand where the other one is coming from, but I be picking at him. So it's different, right? So with that being said, it's like, yo, I don't know. You good? Say you are that. That's why your men and women take is good. Because like whenever I see him in person, he gonna give it up, right? So I don't force it. If I don't get a text back or something, people be thinking I'm mad when I say that shit. If I don't get a text back or whatever, motherfucker gonna talk to me eventually. Today you came in I didn't even have to prompt you.
Relax.
I'm just saying in general, pre-production, right? That's how we get our energy up. But, you know, I feel like checking in on somebody. What is it about you that makes somebody feel like you're not good? That's a great question to ask yourself. This lady said something in here that was pretty dope that I thought was insightful that she hasn't saw yet. Y'all got 4 kids together? So, like, at any time, if he feels like you've been
Am I ever good?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, but, like, he's asking because, like, look, either he been going to the gym or doing shit or taking 1 or 2 of them. And it's like, hey, I know you was stuck here in this place. Are you solid right now? I'm just checking in.
I think he means well, obviously. I think he just has to find a different approach to it.
Absolutely.
And that's all it is.
Or provide her an avenue.
So you're not in the wrong. You're just going about it the wrong way. Figure out a new way.
That's a good.
It's not helping her, and it's not being effective for what you trying to do, which is figure out if she good.
Would you get annoyed if somebody asked you if you was good all the time?
You mean like every day?
Yeah. Is it annoying?
I guess it depends on.
I guess you reason like it's coming from a good space, so therefore I don't.
I mean, I've had to deal with a lot of that, especially recently. It's like, hey, I know where it does get overwhelming. Am I annoyed by it? I don't know if that's the word I would use, but it is overwhelming sometimes. But then I'm always constantly just, where's it coming from? And like, okay, the heart's good, all that, so I'm going to just roll with it. And that might not be the right answer either.
That is the right answer. That's where she's wrong at.
It's more like, all right, well, I know it's not coming out of whatever, but also I know me. Like the people who are asking it are asking for a reason. I have my own tendencies, my own habits to where, I might not give it up all the time if I'm not good anyway. So maybe it's not the best approach to just keep poking at me.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, well, they just don't know another avenue.
I tell you all the time. I think also, like, from the person that's asking, you have to have acceptance, right? Like I said, like, some days I'd be like, I know he's not about to give it up in this setting. It's fucking like 2:00 on a Thursday. This is not give it up time. He's still actively, involved with whatever he does. Same as me, right? Like, I'm actively, people are not going to get a response out of me, but it's a time and a place for things. And I think that if she designates communication with him, like, hey, look, unless I give you, or I'll tell you if I'm not good or whatever. I think he's operating from a span of, there's been periods where if something's wrong with you, I wouldn't know until you brought it up later on. That's where I have a problem. If you don't tell me things like in the moment or like, a little bit after, like if a week and a half has gone by, don't bring it up to me. At that point, you've already accepted something that happened. I'm
not going to say don't bring it up to me. I'm going to say don't treat me as if I know what's going on.
Okay, I'll take that. I like that upgrade.
Now I'm triggered.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
There's information that I don't have. So you're feeling away, right? I say, are you good? You say, yeah, I'm good. Clearly you're not good, right?
You can tell in that moment.
A lot of times.
Okay.
Depending on who I'm dealing with. And I'm going to be like, all right, I know how annoying it could be to get constantly asked, you sure? So yeah. I'm going to take you for your word for it, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go about my business and I'm going to treat you like you good because you said you was good.
It's a very man thing to do. Keep going, though.
And
I'm with you.
It's okay. It's not like I'm trying to trick you into showing me you're not good.
Right.
I'm going to just keep doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
Now, I just need you to remember you said you was good. But so there's the way you vocalize things, but then there's how you actually move. And the way you're moving is how you really feel, which ain't good.
Right. And now you're paying the consequences.
And now I got to deal with that. And now I got to be like, okay, well, and then it becomes like a mind reader situation.
Yeah, you should have known. I hate that.
Well, it's not even you should have known. It's just more like you're trying to like work your way through it.
No, someone tells you
you're trying to say I'm good,
oh,
but
okay,
you're not.
You're saying you're not agreeing.
You're trying to really believe it.
Yes.
But it's not working. So you're trying to say, no, I'm good and I will get there on my own. I don't need to tell you this, but I'm treating you how I really feel, which ain't good.
Right.
And I'm mad.
Happens all the time.
Ooh.
I hate that. That's why like people be like, oh, Carl, you like let it fly. Yes, man, because however I feel like in the moment, I'm not about to let this shit stew. Like for my sake and my benefit, bro, like it helps me to get this shit out. You know where I stand. I've always been like that, all right? Like let me just say it, but like I said, a few days, cool, I get it. Like you can have that, but a week and a half, a month go by or some shit like that, don't. You're supposed to be good now. Right? If that shit is a week and a half in or 6 months old or a year old, that's on you. I swear to God, that sounds like very assholish to say it, but it is. If you don't state what your wants and needs are, or if I wasn't smart enough to check in, because I check in with my wife all the time, like, what do you want to do? Let me throw some ideas at you if you ain't going to come up with any. Which one of these sound cool? If you can find something off of that idea, cool. I really be pushing for people to be independent thinkers. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she isn't.
But I'm not even only speaking in the context of one person or a woman or whatever. I'm talking about people in general.
Yeah, I'm just using her as an example.
People be saying they good all the time, and I'm gonna treat you as such because I'm not about to tell myself a story. Oh, he or she's really not good, and then come up with logical examples of why. And then treat it if it's the truth. Because at the end of the day, you didn't tell me what was up. Now I'm just taking guesses.
Yeah, but that's about as elementary and as simple as like someone asking you how you doing and you just be like, I'm fine. I never got that either. Like when people ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, that's a rough day. It's Monday. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, I'm good, because I'm not. Right? But either way, I'll figure it out. And if I need your help and you're willing to give it, cool. If not, I'm just telling you like how it is. Like, oh, it's good. It's Monday. I'm not hitting you with there's a lady at the school every morning. Good morning, everyone. Everyone having a wonderful day. And it's 7 a.m. I don't know yet, right? It's too early. Check back in with me at 3 if I get here on time on the gate, right? Like shit like that. I don't know. I don't even want to delve into that too much because there was another dude, I told that story, but like, yeah, people that just diarrhea at the mouth, let me tell you about all my shit and I just met you today, like that I let you get it off because baby you need to get it, but like I'm an empath, so when you say some shit, I'll go into a deep thinking like thing and start if it'll fuck with me. So I try not to have those conversations with people. And he did it at a golf course. I was talking to, I think, Jonah or Zoe about that a couple of weeks ago. He did it at a golf course. Like, yo, this is my happy place, bro. You're fucking this up for me right now. Like,
some people might see the golf course as a safe space to do that.
And I gave it to him. He had no idea until if he listens to this pod ever that this shit like fucked with me for the rest of the evening.
There goes my day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Even the gentleman I was with, like, yo, you fucking it up for me. Go ahead, hit my hand class, man. Let's get off these fun facts, man. We've been real deep in conversations today. You can't say happiness without penis.
That's what I be trying to tell him.
You know, I was stressed out you was until after. Oh, man. Oh, this is one that I thought was crazy. Butterflies can taste with their feet.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Is it taste or smell?
They're all connected for us, so you know they can identify things with their feet.
Yeah,
Those
I can't
taste
taste with my nose. I mean, I understand that it's connected, but I always thought it was smell.
If we had a proper ENT in here, man, they'll tell us that all that shit is connected.
No, I know that part, but I thought it was specifically smell.
But I wonder if they can taste with their feet. I don't think it's not saying that they can't taste by eating something also. But I think
like snakes smell with their tongue.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And then sharks, they use their noses, but they blind themselves, right, before they get there.
To heighten their sense?
Yeah, kind of crazy when you think about that. This one I thought was funny. You drink Dasani?
No.
Only when you go to the movie theater, right? Because I swear to God, that's the only one that sells Dasani.
I'm not buying Dasani from anywhere.
It says Dasani water tastes like it's been sitting in a water gun.
For a minute.
Yeah. That's not one water that I enjoy buying. What's your go-to water?
Well, I'm trying to get rid of single-use plastics, so I'm cool with the fridge.
Oh,
but
you got a
at the
container?
same time, I'm not big on that. Like some people is like, oh, Dasani, tastes like a woman who ain't groomed and whatever they be saying, shit like that, sitting in a water gun, whatever you want to say.
Arrowhead's nasty
Arrowhead,
too.
get that little thing. That don't hit me the same. I can't really tell the difference on I can tell some difference, but the way people be giving it up, like, oh, how could you not? I'm like, hey, maybe I'm just different, but
7-Eleven water for $1.99 tastes amazing. That little gallon jug they be having in there, you sit in the sun too long, you will taste a little plastic.
Yeah,
in there.
I mean, it's also it's different because most of the water, obviously it tastes different for a thing, but it's all getting packed up from the same places. They just got different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm cool with whatever, man. But Dasani, I'm not buying a Dasani at a movie theater. Sound like $4.55. I'll wait.
There's a fountain over here. Would you go to the fountain over the Dasani?
Yeah.
I've been recently trying to drink the gym water.
I paid $5 at my old house for a water softener, so I had alkaline running through my body.
No, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, you went for play.
You seen it?
I didn't know it was alkaline, though. You had a few shit, USB plugs, all that.
No, not that house.
Oh, yeah, the other one.
Yeah. You didn't see all them ice cubes was clear as blue sky?
Nah, I would bet it tastes amazing, though, whatever I needed.
and that's how I knew, like, the functionality of it was different, right? That's how they got me.
Yeah.
They was like, hey, you don't got to tell me Spring Valley water dirty, right? I'm like, hey, my immune system's strong for a reason. I grew up in these streets, and I've been drinking out the hose,
I know
the fountain, the tap,
the whole thing,
all of it.
Fucking up your shit slowly.
But when you have an older house, and they're like, yo, it's not just the water. This water gonna be running through your whole house, and it's gonna clean the pipes and it's gonna preserve them so they don't rust and get through all that bullshit. I'm like, all right. So I bought the system. For the first week, every time I turn on a faucet or the shower, fucking sludge, brown, because the water is cleaning the pipes and all that backup and build up on the pipe is pushing it through, keeping them clean.
That's nasty.
Coming out. It was terrible.
You know, after I used to drink out the sink, right? I'm trying to get way better about like not doing it. But after changing pipes in my house, I'm like, I ain't drinking this shit, man.
I don't go to the sink.
You ain't never went underneath the P trap and looked under that shit? Oh,
Yeah.
If
it come from the sink, it had to hit the Brita first. I know the fridge might be the same exact thing, but my the way is different.
As long as I don't see it, I won't have
the delivery system of the fridge make me feel better than the sink.
Yeah. Once I start, and then you look at some of these faucets when they start getting that tarnish on the top. Yeah. I'm not touching that shit, man.
And like,
did I tell you I went through a whole history of water and plumbing?
Nah.
This is one of them nights, man.
Public fountains.
Look, this is why I don't take what human beings say, because we were all stupid as fuck at one point. They used to take all the cities like shit back in like the 1600s. And when I say shit, I mean like water, waste and stuff, and pour it right back in the same water they were drawing it from.
I mean, we're not that far from that right now.
That's, a lot of our shit is reused water.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. Yeah, I told you I'm trying to get better at not drinking out the sink. I be trying to make it a smidge instead of gulps, pause. But like, yeah, I'm not.
We're all gonna be plastic in the next couple generations anyway.
I mean, yeah. 55 to 79% of the population has brown eyes. What are you, a hazel?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of a wide range. You think they narrow that down a little bit?
What color eyes are your dad's?
I don't know.
You never asked him?
Nah. I'll write that one down.
You gonna go see him this year?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I got a few other things I gotta take care of.
He coming out here?
Possibly. Ain't on me.
Has he talked to the kids yet?
You mean like in general?
Yeah. Has he talked to them on the phone?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's what's up. We're
sending them shit.
So, all right, well, yeah, as far as the population having brown eyes, I don't have anything else on that. I'm a brown eyes representative.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The Earth, now this one got me a little bit. The Earth's moon is one of the coldest objects in our solar system, reaching negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, I don't know why we want to like go to Mars and go to these places, because yeah, we can reach there, but can we live in those environments, right? So like all this shit that Elon Musk is be doing, and SpaceX and the rockets and all this shit, it's like, yeah, that shit's dope, bro. But how are you gonna, like, we can get there, but how are we gonna sustain life there without the sun?
Well, that's what they mean. They don't mean the moon in general. They mean the dark side of the moon, because the moon doesn't spin.
That I didn't know.
So what the part of the moon you see, that's the only part you ever see. It's
so
the
like
same
living
thing.
in Alaska.
No. I'm saying, like, you know how,
like, there's parts
you know
of the
how
moon.
if you really study the sky, these stars will start moving.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like, if this was the sun and we're all revolving around it,
or the sun be, because it's summer, it's gonna start setting over there, and the winter it sets over there, and the way whatever. The moon, what you see, that little whatever little outlines you see, it's that no matter what, because it don't spin. So the other side of the moon has never seen the sun.
So what's the surface like on that side where the sun is hitting it?
Negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, where the sun hitting it.
Oh.
85?
I don't think it's 85, but maybe.
There's no clouds on the moon either, right? No atmosphere or
There's
nothing?
no atmosphere.
Yeah, how the fuck we gonna live there?
I don't think we can. I don't think that was an option.
Yeah, man. But I don't know why they're going with Mars and shit. Does Mars rotate?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe then.
Well, because Mars you got to look at, first you got to find some sort of evidence of water before, that's the first thing you got to do.
Right.
And Mars had that.
Oh, Mars has water?
It had evidence that they're thinking, there's some theories that Mars used to look like Earth like some billion years before, and then shit happened.
But they don't know what it is.
No, we can't really go that far back yet. But
You seen Total Recall? That's what I imagine Mars would look like. Exactly like that. The old Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
I mean, Matt Damon grew a potato on Mars, so I mean, in theory, we can do it.
Oh, in real life?
No, not in real.
Oh, you talking about in the show? Okay, I was like, wait a minute, Matt Damon of all people, what the fuck did he do? All right, man, hit my hand class. We'll do one more and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, been watching some TV.
I got shit you wasn't outside for, actually. But it is about TV. It's the one thing that's hot right now. That Nickelodeon shit. And so for a long time, right?
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes enough to get a gist of it, and then I started watching what Amanda Bynes has been doing in real life right now, and I'm like, oh, they fucked her up. So I've been getting on my kids. I'm like, yo, man, y'all be watching this YouTube shit. A lot of these fake families, you know, like having a great time. I was like, yo, that's not real life. Like, don't watch that.
Be like that.
You don't, right? Like every day of the minute. I was like, this dude has problems. He has bills and shit. I'm thinking of this one family. And they be doing shit and you could tell like they in on it. It's like fake acting, but my kids love it. And in their mind, I think they're wishing like I was like that.
Yeah.
Like I would fucking do crafts with them all day and shit. Like I don't have nothing else to do.
No.
Right? Or like you don't have anything else to do. But then in my mind, I would say, oh, why don't you watch your Nickelodeon shows? Right? That's what I was saying that was better. Oh, you know, watch these little kid shows or whatever. Not knowing that we had Harvey Weinstein Jr. out here. He wasn't really nasty. It was the other guys around him and all the shit that they was making the kids do. Like Nose Man, I didn't know that was like supposed to be a penis. The way they drew it, you know what I mean? And they got these kids wearing spandex and stuff. And then slime was supposed to be getting splattered. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, not that it wasn't nasty in general. They didn't know what they was doing, but there is a certain level of like the times of what was acceptable. What I don't want to sound like I'm caping for them. Times are different. What they were doing was never okay. It's just like it's not as noticeable as it would be now.
Right.
Because you're just like, oh, it's silly or it's doing whatever. And yeah, in hindsight, you're like, damn, what the fuck did we grow up on?
Some of these parents is crazy too, though, right? Like in that, I had forgotten. I put this in the chat, but chat hasn't been that active in the last couple of months. Was that like how people push their kids to be like athletes and stuff like that now is like how people used to push them to be childhood stars. Right? Like you want to get in and shake hands with the right people, but you're giving your kids up. A lot of them was given, they were parents working regular jobs or they were trying to be there, but these guys were trying to isolate these kids and get weird shit off. Emancipation. Like I haven't even heard about that.
The what's his name? Pops that was in there as a dad. I was like, man, that shit kind of hit a little different.
Tell the story for the listeners.
Who's dad? Drake Bell's dad?
Yeah, he's a nasty guy now too.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he got popped with something with little kids. But he was going through it. Like what studies show, like when shit like that happens to people.
Shit, I know. I'm over here trying to sympathize with him. Like, dang man, you knew it all along, and you was telling,
But that is dad's. It starts there. If you allow him to be in that space.
No. Maybe we talking about a different person.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about his dad that was like in his life taking him to all the stuff, and then for whatever reason, they, baby moms was tripping. And they had this whole thing, and all he was like, all right, if I can't do this no more, don't leave him alone around this person, that person.
Oh, he
weird,
knew.
wild shit. And, she was on some weirdo stuff, not paying attention. And then all that happens to him. And then so now he's like, damn, like I seen it.
And I could have stopped
I couldn't do nothing.
Wow.
I told her and I told this, but that shit would still eat at you.
Yeah. And you can't get that back either, especially when you look at him now. In hindsight, you blame yourself. Like he would have never experienced those things.
He was the first one in episode, what was that, 4? He's just like, yo, that was however long ago, almost 20 years. He's like, I've never said any of this outside of a therapy session, and even then, I don't know how to deal with it yet, and I've been dealing with this the whole time. Yeah.
Even the black guy that was on, he was like, man, it was having me do all the shit that like low totem pole, like low hanging fruit shit, or the one girl that was there before was the one girl that we all used to idolize. She was like, I was the first one, but then I grew up, started maturing, growing breasts and stuff like that, and I no longer look like a little girl.
And weird too, because I didn't watch the second iteration of all of that, because by that time I had moved on.
Yeah,
but Giovanni, like, she from here. She went to school, not with me, but with me.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
She was on the thing?
Yeah.
I didn't get, like I said, what did she say?
No, you should, by episode 3, you should have been seeing
I'm
it.
going to be on 3 right now. But what did she say? Like, what was her beef?
I mean, her beef was just like the weird shit going along, just like how Dan was treating the set and just being around and the effects of moving forward into adulthood with the confusing. And obviously, she's like, oh, I was the token black girl on the show. And just.
And we used to look up to that. Like as kids, like, damn, we wish that was us. And it's like, you don't know what's on the other side of that. Of like all the things like there was times like, I'm like, I look like Keenan. Like they could pick me, like real shit. Yo, like real shit. And it's like, that's not something that I really want. And I feel like, cause when I see Keenan and Kel, I don't feel like they're grown ass men now. Even still at this age, like there's something about them that seems like they're still stuck in that shadow of that time period.
I was more off because I didn't like the main dude who they talking about. Like I was like, I didn't realize that's who that was.
Dan Schneider?
I always looked at him like, oh, you mean the manager from Good Burger? I didn't know that was him.
Oh, he is the manager though too? Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't know that was him.
I didn't know he was running the whole shit.
Like Stan Lee, like he just in his own shit.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, and even looking at Amanda Bynes, right? She wear the tattoo eyebrows now. She cut her hair, and I think the tattoo on the face was more of like, yo, y'all can never pick me for something again. Right? Like it's just that one random ass tattoo that she has over her face that looks kind of crazy now because the sun has hit it. And, they were saying that she was, like a year or two ago, she was running around butt naked and, had to be, held, for a little bit for psychiatric help. Like a lot of these kids, like you force them to be adults and stuff like that and pay bills and shit like that. There's a battle rapper like that, and they be like, "Oh, your life was great." He's like, "Man, I was a childhood actor. We was getting checks for like $30,000 back then. It wasn't nothing crazy, And I get it. So you can sit here, $30,000 ain't changing nobody's life if you know what real money is.
Yeah.
Shit, $500 million if your name is Donald Trump ain't enough to have in the bank either. You know what I mean? But I thought it was extremely unfortunate, man. And so like I've been trying to be mindful of what my kids do and do not watch. I've been really heavy on I've been telling them like we done with YouTube, but they still, find ways to jump on it. But like that shit ain't real, bro. Like I can't stress it enough. The shit I was watching isn't real and the shit you watching isn't real. It's a fantasy. What really fucked me up, we were watching Shogun last night and they were doing a play. I mean, it's feudal Japan, right? So everybody's sitting down while the dude's acting and shit. She's like, why are they watching them? I was like, yo, I've never had to explain what a play is before. Right? Like some shit like that. So I did a whole little routine in front of her while she was there.
YouTube without the camera.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. But even her mind, tablets have been around since the age of time, right? Like not knowing.
Well, tablets were around. They just weren't.
They were digital.
We was pest the bow tie on them.
So, all right. You got any shows that you're watching that you want to get off right now? Or are you ready to go? We can hit a hand clap real quick.
We just finished American Nightmare on Netflix. It's about this story that happened in Vallejo.
Oh, I did watch
10
that.
years ago.
Yeah.
It's a little 3-episoder.
I hated how much their payout was.
About a kidnapper. The payout, from suing the city?
It was like $2 million.
Yeah.
Fucked up their reputation for like 2 years, dog. Like,
yeah, man. In this part of California, I'm going to need a little more than that.
Yeah, and the lawyer fees is too, because the lawyers was working. And I think that...
Yeah, they only saw maybe $1 million of that.
Easily. Then I found out that if you got money in the bank, the IRS come back and tax you again.
If you got money in the bank for what?
So I was talking to my mans, I won't say who, but he played in the league. There's another guy that no one knows, not the guy I normally hang out with, but there's another guy. And last time I saw him, he was saying that, so he sold his house in 2017 and his financial advisor was like, you need to hurry up and buy something quick or they gonna come and get you. He never did it, right? He didn't buy no house or nothing, and he stayed in California the whole time. So he recently moved. When he moved, they went back and said, hey, you fucked up your taxes 2017. Like, they froze all his accounts and shit.
No, that makes sense.
Then he said, though, he was like, after that, the money that he has in the savings and stuff, they've been trying to tax him on that, too. He was like, I made this from football, and I've already been taxed for it. Why are y'all going after it again? It was like, it's still income.
The interest he would make off of it, not the money's sitting there.
Either way, he was getting taxed though. In his mind, it's I'm getting taxed.
If your money's sitting in, I mean, if it's a big bunch of money,
you're applying logic of what the law is versus him as a human being saying, "Look, y'all already taxed me. I know what you covered at.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone."
Yeah. I felt what you. I know what you're gonna say. I get it. But in his regard, he was like, "Yo, fuck y'all got to do that for in the first place if they already did it once." So
he about to fuck around and find out for the rest of his life.
Well, he about to, yeah. He was like, and he moved, so he's in Texas now. I don't know if it's rules.
That'll help a little bit.
Yeah, rules help a little bit. So, all right, 3 cheers, man. I don't know if I want to say this now, but I do want to give it 3 cheers to my family at least. We've been dealing with some stuff as a unit. And it's amazing how certain things such as, watching people go or on their way out the door kind of brings people together and works together in teams. I think my family's been doing a really good job. I've been trying to do my part on top of protecting my children. So it's never easy when you're watching loved ones go. It hit me kind of hard a couple of weeks ago. I had a fucked up 3 days. Stomach was all jacked up, the whole 9. But then there was a point where I just had to say, you know what? This person who we're talking about in general has lived a full life, and the best thing that we can do is support them during this transition. So, but shout out to my family. I've been seeing them and talking to them a little bit more, been involved in more conversations. And it's just good to see when you set that foundation, man, when something like this happens, that we can come together. Still little bumps and bruises along the way, but I'm lucky for myself to be level-headed, and not worry about some of the little small things that may happen. But I think this go around, in comparison to previous times, this has gone a lot more smoothly previously. So shout out to my fam, and yeah.
We recording this a day late, but I'm gonna go ahead and 3 cheers, Nipsey Hussle. It's been 5 years already.
That's crazy. Time flies.
And yeah, even 5 years later, it's probably not healthy, but it's not the best day for me. Yeah, I mean, I don't really get what to say that's not been said in the past 5 years. I mean, at this point, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I need to work on that too, because yesterday I was still kind of, probably good we didn't pod yesterday, because I was just in the middle of it, on top of doing a million other things. But yeah, just one of them days.
Shout out to Black Sam too, for moving in the manner in which he has, trying to keep his brother's legacy alive. And yeah, man,